Zabil, you know that there have been different nations, powerful nations in the world. In the past, we had Britishers, they were our European nations, they were powerful, they colonized the world, and then America became powerful, and there was Russia and China. So, what do you think? What were the reasons why these Britishers became powerful and they colonized the world, and how they lost their power and it went to America?
I think the reason that the Britishers were really well known and are still very well known, I think that's because of the amount of skill and the amount of toughness that it takes to master these skills. And second, it's really tough to master horse riding while mastering a sword. And it's really tough to master how to aim at your projects, how to aim at your enemies properly, because if you remember, in the old times Britishers were really they were just common people, but in after some years they eventually become really colonized and they evolved to steel, which led them to making swords and knives. And because of that they were able to colonize most of the humanity, because of the reason that they had weapons and germs and obviously steel. The reason that they got all this power is because of germs, metal, and steel. Now, the reason that they got these weapons, they had to create metal and steel. And obviously, you cannot create a store without steel and metal, or at least obviously iron. So, they eventually figured out how to make a sword, and then they made it into a weapon. And then they kept doing this until their whole army had weapons. And then they would eventually surrender some troops and then take them at least as hostages, and then infiltrate their army and then capture them, and then they will keep doing this until they are the most well known. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, their
Then why,
strategy.
how America emerged as a powerful?
Now the point is that America is really good at making stuff. Like example, they literally created nuclear weapons like C4s, atomic bombs, nuclear bombs, and even nukes. But now comes the point. If there would not be any nuclear or any weapons that was technology or mechanic related, I mean, if there were not any weapons that were, if those okay, if those weapons were in the old time, then the British wouldn't have been that skilled. But if you see the difference between their America's and British skills, you will see now these days Americans are really good at robbery, because in the America it's a huge chance to be getting robbed. But in the British time, they use skill to capture these people. And
What do you think about this China and Russia?
I think that China and Russia are not that much big threats yet, because not gonna lie, they're really friendly and they are pretty proper. They have a full border on their country, and especially the best part, they're not like India that have only 75% of their border completed, and the other 25% is just unfinished. Sometimes people of Pakistan accidentally go there without knowing, because they live in the corners of Pakistan. And
So
then
come to this point of particular, because this is a strong conviction that China is an emerging economy and it would
yes,
give tough time to other leading economies of the world.
yes, because not gonna lie, China is a really huge company, and I mean it's not a company, but it's a huge place to live. If you will see how many people there are, you would think that there are more than the amount of stars. Even the stars are not infinite, but it's just impossible to count them all. But now you realize the point. Russia and China are huge, huge threats if they will try to betray us or if they will try to attack us. And now comes the main point. Russia. People think that the Russian leader Putin is the world's most powerful guy. Now comes the point. British, American, and Russia and China. These people are insanely powerful if they can combine. But now the point comes. If you remember history, America had betrayed Russia, and somehow Russia was able to survive their attack. And then they fled, and then they got into another place somehow, and then they called it Russia. You know. And now comes the point. It's kind of impossible for Russians and Americans to get along if they will still remember the thing. So that does mean that the three strongest men are not that much they are not that much into getting teaming. So now America, Russia, they are insanely powerful. I believe they're the top two. And now North Korea.
Do you think that there should be end to these nuclear weapons in the world?
I mean, there obviously have to be. What is the point of it? Is there any benefit? No.
What should be the priority of humanity in future? What should we prioritize?
I mean, I don't know what we should prioritize, but I believe that prioritizing could become a huge benefit in the future. But now,
Do you think that man has become a toy in the hands of technology?
I mean, at this point, man are controlling themselves. But there's another point. If you remember North Korea, Kim Jong, he had created a lot of nukes, and he is the third most powerful guy. He could destroy the whole earth. But the good thing is, he is not evil. Like mostly America is, because they betrayed such a huge country. But now the point comes in. Kim Jong is really dangerous, but the good thing, he's not that evil. So I think
Hope this is very wonderful time with you. The next in next sitting we will talk about explore other topics, and we will try to know your point of view regarding.
alright.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
And by the way, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that like button. And by the way, make sure to hit that notification bell. But if you want to suggest us a topic, try to put them into the comment. We will try to make a video on your top comments. Alright.